One of India's big advantages at this moment is that it has a young population. China's population is in decline, the country is aging, but we're also in the age of artificial intelligence where there are reports which say that 300 million plus jobs would be automated. Does this then put India in a very precarious position where you have a lot of young people entering the working age population, but this is also a time when jobs per se won't be increasing at the speed at which they were in the past?
This jobless threat coming from automation, AI, firstly, let's acknowledge has been grossly exaggerated because these projections have been around for the last 5-10 years. I can go back to past eras to when this has happened. What is the ground reality? Take India aside for a second. The global unemployment rate today is extremely low. In the US, you have an unemployment rate of only 3.5% just now. So, all these projections of wide joblessness coming from automation and all have not happened so far.
But AI does pose a bigger threat than
AI is there, but I like the old line on this that the history of development is that it's not jobs which are lost, but professions which are lost. So we will see a big professional churn, which is that some professions will go out of business. But I always believe that there'll always be jobs around. We have seen massive revolutions in the past. We have seen horse carriages being, driven away. We have seen much more of self-driving come. Now we're talking about autonomous vehicles. I think that so there'll always be jobs around, right? The professions will change. What those new professions are is always the harder, to predict.
But in the way this is likely to play out, in your view, is this to India's advantage or disadvantage? Because it will require a very skilled workforce with the kind of very cutting-edge STEM skills which India does have, but at a certain layer in its population and not widely dispersed.
Yeah, but also on this, the thinking keeps on changing because now the thinking is that with AI, it's in fact the white collar jobs which are at greater threat than the more routine function jobs. Whereas the earlier automation threat was much more for the blue collar jobs. So, as I know that, I think that this AI is a very new thing. We don't know as yet what the outcome's going to be, but I remain relatively optimistic that that humans know how to navigate these issues, and at the end, what you will see is that some professions will be lost, but jobs will remain. The bigger challenge is, of course, for places like India and places like even China today. You spoke about China's demographic decline. But the most shocking statistic about China today is that the youth unemployment rate in China today is over 20%.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.